line up at night, it will look like a log in the water. So you get closer, we'll spread them out so you can get more coverage. Or if you're further out, you want to go in a straight line, it will look like just a log floating down in case they see something.
SWAT for me is the biggest thing you could do in the police department, because you're privy to things that normal patrol people never are. Normal patrol people will never be involved in an entry or a barricaded situation. They'll never be involved in a bank robbery type situation. For the most part, they won't handle the types of protection details we handle. So we just get to do a lot more things than the normal patrol. The training that we have and the discipline that we are required to maintain to stay on the team is definitely a cut above the normal patrol guys.
They're basically going to come up now and have your two guys on the ends, provide the cover on the islands to make sure nobody comes around the side, because so far to this point they don't know who's on the island or not.
Sylvester Stallone's house is on the water. Madonna's house is on the water. I mean, who's to say somebody might want to do something stupid there? There's other places right on the water. I mean, our mayor office is right on the water.
There's a handle right up here.
In Miami, hostage situations happen all the time. On average, the team responds to barricade calls every month of the year. This particular morning, the hostage is a small boy.
Basically, it was a domestic violence call. These are what we're starting to see more often. If they have a weapon, they get barricaded inside, and then they don't want to come out. We can't leave somebody in a setting like that with guns, and they're going to be offensive. They can shoot somebody else when they're in that state. And in this situation, he's got an 8-year-old child inside.
Domestic violence situations can become extremely volatile, and SWAT knows it. So the first thing they do is turn to the negotiators.
50 Northwest 23rd Street. That's 2050 Northwest 23rd Street. Have the negotiators meet me here right behind the SWAT truck.
When we arrived, we interviewed the wife of the subject who was barricaded inside the house. She and her husband had had an altercation, and that he had beaten her. He had hit her several times, and that somehow she had managed to get out of the house to call the police.
In 1992, it was the child who was calling for help. Jasmali de la Cruz was just 6 years old when she dialed 911.
They kill your mother? What do you mean?
Her mother had been shot by an armed intruder. Jasmali stayed hidden under her bunk bed while talking to the police.
You under the bed in the bedroom? Do he know you're inside the house? Yeah. I said open the door and then I told him no. You got the bedroom door locked?
Officer Angel Calzadilla was in the communications room at the time.
Took over the phone call, just started speaking with her, calmly talking to her about different things, just to keep her distracted. I'm in a room where the calls come in miles away, so you feel helpless. You feel like you're at the mercy of this gunman inside their house. Several times that we thought, we were going to lose her. We would hear gunshots inside the house, and then I'd wait to hear her voice again and make sure she was still there. And they were able to go in, pry the bars off of that one window, rescue her, and then the next thing that we heard on the phone was, we have the baby, she's fine. And then cheers just went up. I mean, it was like the launch of a space shuttle. Everybody just jumped with joy at the fact that this little girl had been saved by our SWAT team. Me about my daughter. We kept in touch. When my birthday came around, her and her sister and her dad threw me a little party, and they had, she gave me a bottle of champagne. I guess it made me very thankful to have been in a position to help her. saw that every word you say counts and how much you have to listen as well as speak, I said, this is something I really want to do. And I applied as a negotiator, and I've been on the team now for over 4 years.
Today, Angel and the others once again try to rescue a child from a terrifying situation. They work under the protective watch of SWAT.
They put the shields up, they put the helmets up, they find a safe alley for us to be able to negotiate. However, the ones that are facing the guns is the SWAT guys. So, yeah, our job is a little risky, but this SWAT team is out there basically exposing their life on every call out.
Somewhere inside, an estranged father holds his 8-year-old stepson hostage. When negotiations fail, SWAT must go in.
You have such a concern and you have such a will to want to get that person out when they're in a barricaded situation. That's when you're afraid, when you're not sure if he's going to say, I'm coming out, or if you're going to walk in and unfortunately they're all dead. That's the scariest moment for me.
Within seconds, it's over. This time, they were lucky.
The boy's fine. He's a little shaken up. He's with his mother now. So, you know, we'll strike one up for the good guys.
A truly successful mission is when even the bad guys come out unhurt. Things don't always turn out this way. One of the toughest situations a negotiator faces is Stockholm Syndrome, when the hostage develops an affection for the hostage taker. Detective Mike Marquez remembers one such tragic case.
We went at it for 9 hours. As time went on, it became obvious that she was having difficulty delineating who was the good guys and who were the bad guys.
He shot at us 4 or 5 times. The decision was finally made to make entry. While attempting to make entry, he had heavily barricaded the door, shot the victim in the head once, and then shot himself before we could make entry.
She got killed. And he then turned the gun on himself and shot himself in the head. He cut both his eye sockets because he put the gun in this way, and it went straight across. And believe it or not, the kid lived, and he's completely blind, and he's in a mental institution.
This type of scene led Miami to place medics on the team. Today, they provide immediate assistance to the injured, cop and criminal alike. This collaborative effort with the fire department was the first of its kind. The idea quickly took off in other cities.
What's really difficult is to take a police officer and make him a paramedic. It's much easier to take a paramedic that's practicing and teach them tactical skills.
Julie Padelford is also the first of her kind. She's the only woman on Miami SWAT.
Basically, we're equipped to handle trauma. What we're doing is advanced life support, but scaled down to keep somebody alive until we can get them to a safe zone.
Julie is our SWAT medic, but she's still a SWAT team member, and she could hold her own just as like any of the other guys.
It's a pleasure to have her aboard because she has a different insight about other things, you know. She has a feminine side, which none of us do. She's the only female we got, and we protect her, she protects us. It's a good working atmosphere, and she's one of the guys.
We support each other, and we cry on each other's shoulder, and, you know, we take care of each other.
And you have to have total trust in the person next to you. If you don't, you're nothing.
You don't like to say it, but in the back of your mind, you know, I may die with this guy.
At last, a mini SUV with enough power to take you anywhere you want to go. And enough space and comfort to make the Introducing the all-new V6 Grand Vitara from Suzuki.
Excuse me, is that really a Suzuki? It's very nice.
Tweety, I really don't think you guys are relatives.
I do.
MCI 5 cents Sundays helps me keep up with my Space Jam buddies. He doesn't even have feathers.
But we have the same last name.
It's just 5 cents a minute, every Sunday, along with low rates all week long. But just because he's Larry Bird and you're Tweety Bird doesn't mean you're related.
I don't know. We look an awful lot alike.
Call 1-800-SUNDAYS to become an MCI customer.
IRA investing can be simple. Start with people who speak plain English. People who know what a Roth IRA is. People who can help you choose the right IRA. You'll want strong performance. You'll want strong service. And no extra IRA fees. IRAs can be simple. Invest $2,000 in a strong IRA by February 28th, and we'll waive IRA fees for life. Call 1-888-2-STRONG.
Every weeknight, you're going on the inside, and nobody takes you there like the Discovery Channel. Tomorrow, it was a top-secret military operation.
They were exploring a new frontier. As different a frontier as going to the moon.
But when the CIA involved Howard Hughes, everything went wrong.
And everybody was afraid that this could be the situation that would cause the buttons to get pushed.
On the inside, the Jennifer Project. Tomorrow at 8 Eastern and Pacific on the Discovery Channel.
It's Mardi Gras time at Warnock, so join our carnival of savings on cars, minivans, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, we're giving away a chance to win a trip for two to the world's biggest party, Mardi Gras 2000. Just visit any of Warnock's 6 dealerships to join our celebration and enter our Mardi Gras 2000 sweepstakes. You could find yourself on Bourbon Street before you know it. Warnock, there really is a difference.
Hey, it's almost time to hit the slopes. Better head to the great annual Pelican Ski Swap. Here's how it works. Just bring your old gear to Pelican and tell us what it's worth. When we sell your equipment, you get in-store credit for the full purchase price. The price you set is the price you get. No commissions and no service charges. Plus, if you're looking to buy used ski and snowboard gear, the Pelican Ski Swap has great deals all this month. That's the great annual Ski Swap, this month only at Pelican. We're in the Powder Mill Plaza West on Route 10 in Morris Plains.
When Detective Tony Utset is not on the front lines with SWAT, he's working the undercover scene with the narcotics unit. He operates from inside a custom-made spy-mobile. It's so secret, most Miami cops have never seen it. Tonight, he's sneaking around the parking lot of a rave concert in, well, we're not allowed to tell you what he's in.
Oh, he's dumping acid. This guy is taking acid. He's going to be tripping in a little bit.
Tony monitors the scene with all kinds of surveillance equipment, specialized cameras, night vision equipment, bugging devices, recording equipment. He's got it all.
The last rave concert we had, resulted in several overdoses. And as a result, we're going to beef up our enforcement and hopefully find out the lab that this stuff came from. Sometimes it's tough being in here because you really make the case, you do the stuff that gets the job done, but you don't get to jump out and kick butt and take names. And that kind of bothers you sometimes. The other thing is, the other guys are in the spotlight. We're kind of the shadow warriors, but that's okay. I mean, it's part of the job. I see our female here. I'm watching her pockets. Could almost see. There it is. Let me get that view. There you go. What do we got there? Oh, there you go. Stick it in your waistband. Love it. Love it. And there you go. Smile for me, baby. You're on candid camera. Ha! I love my job. It seems abusive to come down on a bunch of teenagers with the SWAT team, the super sleuth undercover guys, but it's not excessive. It's nipping something in the bud, if you will. They're putting kids into comas. And it's not we're out there to target the kids for doing a couple of drugs. We're out there trying to target the labs that are producing the drugs that are really killing these kids, and they really are.
Miami's surveillance operation is just one of many in the war on drugs that was launched by President Ronald Reagan in the 1980s.
Our commitment to this program is unshakable. We intend to do what is necessary to end the drug menace and cripple organized crime.
The more drugs that flowed into the country, the more aggressive Reagan's policies became. He appointed a drug czar, called in the military, and then looked to SWAT. It was during this time that their role changed dramatically. Their expertise grew far beyond armed standoffs. SWAT soon became law enforcement's #1 weapon on the front lines in the drug war. In 1996, teams around the country delivered 25,000 warrants. Miami SWAT averages about 2 per week. Today, they stand by while Tony pulls the arrest record on a house where the narcotics guys made a crack buy. It's the last bit of information they'll need to justify a high-risk warrant.
If the police have been there twice for parking violations, you know it's really not that big of a hazard location. However, if you run it and you get 10 cases of ag batteries and weapons violations and whatnot, you're going to have your hands full when you get there. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Busy place. Very busy place. 13 on one page.
They've got what they need to send in SWAT.
Let's go, go, go! Do not look at me. Put your hands on the head. Put your hands on your head. My hands on my head.
Miami is one of those cities that certainly has to have a SWAT team. They have to have people that can respond to very dangerous situations. So they certainly have more justification than what's going on in Mayberry RFD. And what we've seen is a rapid proliferation of SWAT teams in small towns.
Strict standards are not always enforced, and in some cities, mistakes have led to tragedy.
We got woken up about 12 o'clock, and I heard a real loud noise, you know, screaming and yelling, vans pulling up in my driveway. I looked out the window, and before I could turn, my bedroom door was being busted down. We were knocked on the ground with guns to our heads. It was Donald and I, my boyfriend. And it just happened really fast. A lot of screaming and yelling, get down, get down, get down, you know. They knocked us on the ground, face down. They just kept asking us where the drugs were, which we kept saying there's no drugs, no drugs.
SWAT teams must walk a fine line between enforcing the law and violating the Fourth Amendment. Obtaining the right information is crucial. For Miami's SWAT team, mistakes are rare.
The reason for that is because our undercover officers are brought with us that made the purchase usually from the home, knock on the exact door with his hand and continue moving, and then we bust the door open.
Critics argue that military tools and tactics may be winning the battles, but it's the overall strategy that's losing the war.
The war on crime, the war on drugs, the rise in paramilitary policing, and the military getting involved in law enforcement are all joined together. So this is a whole cultural phenomenon, but it's critical to recognize that it's being promoted not just by police officers themselves, The companies that are selling the weaponry and the companies that are selling the body armor, the companies that are selling the battering rams, the companies that are selling ways to convert an armored personnel carrier into a police vehicle, all of these companies exploit those warrior fantasies.
Now the sight is what makes the difference.
All right, tell you what. Let's order about 30 of these. 40 of those.
SWAT doesn't see it this way.
Okay.
Yeah, we surrender. Julie's coming.
Down on your knees, boys. I'm coming at you.
For them, it's simple. They're just trying to keep up with the bad guys and stay alive.
We're highly trained over and over, again, with weaponry that we need, and with bulletproof vests and different tactics
Daddy's home.
to take care of business.
Okay, item 7. Who requested separating seats?
We did. It falls under the personal space clause.
I have no problem with that.
Me neither.
Good.
Well, other than tray table custody, I think we may have ourselves a minivan.
Not so fast, folks. I believe you know my client.
Timmy?
The all-new 7-passenger, something for everyone Honda Odyssey. It's one big happy minivan.
I have a mother. I have a father. I even have a big brother. I don't need someone else looking out for me. I need someone who can help me look out for myself.
At Lincoln Financial Group, our goal is to make the financial world clear and understandable so you can make informed decisions. Lincoln Financial Group, clear solutions in a complex world.
Adrenaline rushing. Hearts pounding. Heavy breathing. It's almost as much fun as your first date. Royal Caribbean, like no vacation on Earth.
Whoa, look out! Hi there!
Need stopping power? Get genuine Midas brakes installed for $69.95 after rebate for a limited time. And, of course, our lifetime guarantee. Go Midas.
Forget that unsightly hair. Now there's IGEA. It removes unwanted hair and keeps it from growing back. A gentle electrolytic pulse deadens the hair so it slides out easily. And that's the last of it. Order your IGEA system now.
Tonight, the Discovery Channel presents a timely and disturbing profile of modern racism in America.
I can say, on one hand, I don't hate other races. On the other hand, I can say I hate all other races.
These are very dangerous people. They will kill you. They will kill their enemies.
Headline Discovery, a murder in Texas, hate on trial. Tonight at 10 Eastern and Pacific, only on the Discovery Channel. Every weeknight, you're going on the inside, and nobody takes you there like the Discovery Channel. Tomorrow, it was a top-secret military operation.
They were exploring a new frontier, as different a frontier as going to the moon.
But when the CIA involved Howard Hughes, everything went wrong.
And everybody was afraid that this could be the situation that would cause the buttons to get pushed.
On the inside, the Jennifer Project. Tomorrow at 8 Eastern and Pacific on the Discovery Channel.
Around the country, SWAT teams prepare for the day when a biological terrorist infiltrates their city.
They are suddenly realizing that there are groups out there that are fully capable, in every sense, of using weapons of mass destruction.
It's out there that every country has it, including our own, and if somebody really wants to use it, we're all up a creek without a paddle.
This is a biowarfare device. It was made by the United States Army in the 1960s. It sprays a bioweapon into the air. You put a little bit of air pressure in here, such as a hose from a gas station, and then the weapon comes out of this nozzle here in powdered form. I've loaded it with baby powder, which looks a lot like a biological weapon. The reason they're powders is because they drift endlessly in the air once they get up in the air. Watch.
Within seconds, the cloud will become invisible and drift for miles. First response teams and SWAT units are being trained how to recognize and contain the situation. Many say that no level of preparation will ever really be enough.
In any real bioterror event, it's actually the local people who are going to be on the front line who are really going to be dealing with it. And it's the local people also who are going to be dying.
We can't really protect ourselves against biological warfare at this point in time, and it's going to be awful.
So what makes the Miami team continue to put their lives on the line every day? Maybe it's that they believe what they're doing is right, and maybe they do it for each other.
It's very scary because you don't think for yourself, you think for your family, you know.
We are the Miami SWAT team.
But when you look at the guys you're with, they are in the same predicament. And if you don't do it, who's going to do it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You train for the worst and hope for the best.
Never stop. Never stop. All the way. All the way. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
To purchase a home video of the program you just saw, call now to order. For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling, you too can become part of the adventure. Make Discovery's award-winning programming your very own. From technology and expedition to the everyday how-to. Explore your world anytime. Call now to order.